A real turning point in the play is when Chloe's mum, Sarah Foreman, comes to talk at Tash's school.
My name is Sarah Foreman. Some of you might have seen me on the news.
I found the scene surprisingly easy to write. Often when I'm writing, there's quite a long process of editing and rewriting, but this speech came out almost in one piece. I think the inspiration for this scene stems from something that happened a very long time ago when I was at school. When I was about 13, a parent of a young woman who had died from taking recreational drugs came to talk to us. And it really had a very profound impact on me. So even though that happened over 25 years ago, somehow that mum stayed in my subconscious. Chloe's story in Hidden serves as something of a counterbalance to the main narratives of Matt, Sophia and Tash. Although I want the narrative to be one of hope, and that's why Matt, Sophia and Tash get better, it's important that the audience understands that not everyone is so lucky. When someone is in the depths of despair, it can be really hard to think rationally. They might imagine that if they took their own life, things would get better. Tash actually says everyone would be better off if it wasn't for me. And that's why Chloe's mum's monologue, which shows us the devastating impact of Chloe's suicide, is so important. This is one of the only moments of stillness in the play. There's no implied movement, and it's actually quite a long monologue. I positioned this monologue so late in the play because the play needs to earn the audience's attention. The audience needs to have grown to care for the characters, and they also need to understand a little bit more about self-harm so that they can understand what Chloe's mum is saying. The audience needs to be moved by this speech so that they can understand Tash's very sudden change of heart and change of attitude towards her own mother. And even though our audiences know that it's not real, that Chloe's mum doesn't exist, and they're further reminded of this by the fact that the part is being played clearly by an actor who is far too young, as all of Peer Productions actors are between the ages of 18 and 23. It still has that real emotional impact and can really affect an audience.